Hello everyone, it's me Zen Ruby. Your ACCA journey comprises of many parts, of which one part is your skills level. It is almost a second part of your journey. So what do we need to be aware of the skills level papers? ACCA skills paper is what comes after the knowledge level. Now there are quite a lot of papers in the skills level. One thing that really affects a student's journey of ACCA is the progression of their ACCA exams and the speed at which they finish these papers. So it's very important for a student to be informed of what these papers are, what are the exam patterns, and also what is the approach to be adapted while doing these papers. So let's discuss all of these papers one by one. Paper number 1, Corporate and Business Law, popularly called the law paper. Now it has global and local versions, but I'll be mainly focusing on the global version. Now the difficulty level of this paper is a little bit more than the knowledge level because you're moving into the skills level. The exam pattern is section A and section B. Section A has 1 and 2 mark MCQs and section B has case study MCQs. Now one thing to understand about the law paper is, why is it a part of the ACCA syllabus? Because as a chartered accountant, you're supposed to be aware of the legal laws in the country you're living in. Only then business transactions can happen smoothly without any problems or penalties or fines. So you should have a proper understanding of the legal principles and concepts discussed in this particular paper. There'll be a lot of laws. Don't mug it up because application is quite a lot happening in this paper. There'll be lots of case studies. So go through these case studies, try to find out the end outcome and also what's the legal principle as a result of this. Lots of practice is very important. Just 5 or 6 case studies won't do. You need to go through it detailedly and also do a lot of mock exams based on your level of progression. If you're doing good, then you don't need to do a lot of mock exams. But if you're doing a little slow, then you need to do as much as mock exams as possible. Next paper is Performance Management, PM. It's one of the most feared papers in the skills levels because it's a little bit difficult when you look at the pass rates. So you might be afraid whether you can clear it. Now it is a paper mainly focused on costing, and as back knowledge, there's also the management accounting paper. Now, one of the main things important for this paper is you need to know the depth of these costing techniques because they're not asking you the techniques, but they'll ask you the application of this. What happens is students often practice one question and expect the next question to be the same. This is the challenge in PM. That does not happen. They ask every question very differently. So if you don't have a depth of conceptual understanding, you won't be able to apply these concepts at all. So make sure that your concepts are very strong. What is budgeting? What are the variances? What is the reason for the variances? What are the cost techniques and why do we use them? Make sure you practice a lot of these. As much as questions available for you, go through them. Like I said, one of the reasons that people say that it's a hard paper is because they expect all the questions to be the same. But no, depth of conceptual understanding is important. Also, as it is true for every paper, do tons of mock exams. Now this is the first paper in your ACCA where they talk in detail about tax laws. So the challenge here is to understand these tax laws. It is just a lot of laws, but there are tons of questions that make you confused because the options for your exams look like the same. The MCQs, the options look similar. So you need to do a lot of practice. Last minute practice will not do because there are a lot of taxes: corporate tax, income tax, inheritance tax, value added tax. There are tons of taxes. So if you are planning to do it in the last minute, it won't work because you'll be confused and you'll mix up all these taxes all together. So do a lot of practice, and also time is a very important factor. Often students lose a lot of time when it comes to tax questions because there are 3 sections: section A, section B, section C. A and B are mostly MCQs and section C is CR questions, or your constructed response questions. So do a lot of mock exams, everything available in the practice platform so that you'll be able to complete it on time. So practice is very important for this paper. And do you know that this taxation paper and the next paper we are talking about, FR, are the papers which are relatively easier to clear in the skills level paper. Next, financial reporting. Often students choose this as the first paper in their skills level because it is having an ease of understanding and also the way the exam questions are asked. What are some important things to remember for FR paper? Section A, Section B, Section C. That's how the exam questions come up. International Financial Reporting Standards and International Accounting Standards, IFRS and IAS. You are expected to know about these standards in depth, and a lot of technical questions will be coming from these areas. So make sure you know these standards very well. And also, when it comes to your accounting ratios, they expect you also to give interpretations. In FA, in your financial accounting paper, you were just calculating these, but here you're interpreting them. So make sure you reach that level of understanding of what is the meaning behind each ratio. And also group accounts is something that is extensively tested in the FR paper. So this is your base, your accounting standards paper. It helps you later on in your future papers in your P levels. So make sure you do this paper with a lot of seriousness because your IFRS and IAS is one of the core concepts of your whole ACCA. Alright, and also as it is true for every paper, make sure you do a lot of mock exams to make sure you clear these exams. Next paper is Audit and Assurance, or AA. Another paper that is very much feared by the students. Now it's completely a discursive or a word-based paper. It's theory-based. And you'll get introduced to a lot of new terms like internal audit, external audit, substantive procedures, internal control measures, control factors, risk, ethics, so many new terms. So take your time with understanding these concepts. And also, like I said, it's word-based. So your exam pattern is also a bit different from the other papers. Section A, Section B, 30 marks in Section A for MCQs, and Section B, 70 marks for typing it out. So your typing skills also must be on point. You need to improve your typing skills, as in maybe increase your speed, okay, and also make sure you don't make a lot of mistakes. And the lot of new terms, like I said, substantive procedures and ethical considerations. Try to know the difference between all of this. Try to also understand this and apply to the real world scenarios, because your exam answers must not look a lot of textbook knowledge, because the examiners usually do not like that. When they're correcting your paper, if they see it's a lot of textbook focus, they might not like it. So make sure you get your exams evaluated by your faculty, which it's done at IIC Lakshya. Make sure you do that, and also get the feedback and try to improve on it. Next is Financial Management, or FM. Now here also you're introduced to a lot of new financial management. The whole world of financial management is all about investment appraisal, risk management, business finance, and also to some extent business valuations. So you'll also get introduced to a lot of interesting aspects like stock markets, money markets. You learn a lot of skills about your future investments, in fact. So make sure you also studied with that approach. It can help you in your knowledge with regards to your financial literacy. So financial management, these concepts are a bit complex if you don't apply your mind into it. So make sure you attend the classes well and try to clear your doubts and do lots of practice, because these complex business decisions are not something we can master just in one day. It takes a lot of practice. So as it is true for every paper, understand the exam pattern also. Here it is Section A, Section B, Section C. When you attend the classes, try to understand from your faculty which area gets tested in which questions. It is very specific. Alright, so do mock exams under timed conditions and you will be able to have an idea to how to clear these papers. So I hope these discussion points helped you to understand these skill level papers, their content and the approach. And don't worry, detailed videos about each paper will be available soon. And also, if you have any more queries, please feel free to comment in the section below. So I'll just tell a summary of what we just discussed right now. Alright, so we discussed that we have to be very much aware of what each paper is about, try to understand the approach, the exam patterns, the marking schemes and all that. And also make sure that you attend good classes, expert faculty led classes which are available at IIC Lakshya. and also make use of ACCA resources like the Study Hub and the Practice Platform. So I hope you will do well. So I wish you luck for your hard work and success. Thank you.